So today I'm on the laptop, a little bit different of a view, but it's whatever. Um, so pretty much we go on the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and move these. Right. So pretty much we were range bound for 2 weeks. So as you can see, Dow dug all the way down to here. So there's daily inefficiency, the gap. While ES and NQ just stayed staggered, waiting for this pull to finish. Then looking at the 4 hour, Um, yes, the CPI was Tuesday, led into a Wednesday pullback. We swept previous. Let me open it up. We swept previous week. Not oh yeah, previous week and Q1. So right here we had a monthly cycle. So technically the perfect entry would have been yesterday when we dug down to this new week opening gap, but yesterday was horrible price action and first of all, I was not going to trade on my personal this week because I kind of just came to fruition that I'm just not risking live funds for such bad price action. Even though, yes, I understand it can expand, and as it did, but it's just not worth the risk for me personally. As I'm trying to first grow my fundeds, and then after I get like a strong payout, then I'll go ahead and disperse some cash into personals and stuff like that. Anyway, so clearly the 4 hour and the Q didn't sweep. We had monthly finally. We had monthly at the highs, monthly at the lows, monthly, and then again monthly at the lows. This one confirmed it. And now we're back onto our expansion phase. So I go next week should just be a straight up week. And Dow over here will take these highs, and we'll finally have like just a clean week of just nonstop expansion. Now, clean week is hard to say as we're at all time highs, so anything can really happen. Um, but you know, I would rather have us expanding like this to the middle of nowhere than a range bound price action like this where 930 only manipulates and then does nothing for the rest of the day. So, but we're going to talk about two trades today. Let's jump down to the 1 hour. So, on the 1 hour, as you can see, we dug into that new week, had no bodies closed, ES closed, Lime closed under. And zooming into just today, so zooming into just today, we can see this gap right here. Um, 7 a.m. dug into CE of the gap on ES, while it didn't dig into C on NQ, and then Dow went under. So although you can consider this as a daily SMT, um, I still want to see some kind of manipulation prior to entering on the NQ. So then, as you can see, we had a really clean setup, to be honest, to this high. Um, we had a at 8:30 we had news. We had 90-minute cycle plus. See if we had 90. Wait, where is it? 90 right here. Crack. See higher, lower. So we had that crack along with a few PSPs, which I'm not gonna really dig out for them, but where are they? Right here, the PSP. So you could have used that with the 5 minute. Now, the reason I didn't enter on this one and I stayed patient is I want to see the main move for the day. So I know today will be expansion by looking at this 4 hour candle. We dug into this gap and we went higher. And 4 hour candle closed at 10 o'clock on the dot. So I feel totally fine waiting through manipulation. And one of my biggest mistakes for the past I would say around all-time highs. One of my biggest mistakes isn't waiting through that 9:30 manipulation initially. So therefore, today I didn't want to make that same mistake, and I wanted to give the market the opportunity to retrace prior to me entering, and putting on a very substantial risk because I'm risking four accounts at once, soon to be five. So as you guys can see, we came down, we swept that high, and we came all the way down to new day opening gap. We created 90 minute, and right here was a PSP down close on NQ, so I was not gonna enter right away. But then up close here, we had another one right there, and then obviously this one. So this is our first up close candle. This up close candle, obviously, very expansive, very powerful, and that this up close candle on ES closed above. So as some can look at this and be like, okay, it's SSMT to go lower, but no, this isn't SSMT. This is market structure shift. And the market is shifting from being in a bearish structure to bullish. Uh, if you look at the higher time frame, the 4 hour PSP, we have monthly, we had daily, we have 90 minute. You cannot take one 90 minute cycle and just say that we're shorting. No, that doesn't work like that. We need to have more. If we have monthly at the lows, we need monthly at the highs, and so that's why I'm using this close as a change in order flow, not necessarily as a reason in order to short. And that's one of the common mistakes I see with people who start with quarterly theory. Now, we take the high, and then we have a pullback, a very healthy pullback, totally normal into the gap, and then we hit all-time highs, as you can see. So where did I enter? I'll show you guys my two trades. So my first trade being right here. So the 5 minute candle closed, right? It was about to close. I saw the PSP and I recognized it. I see the close above. So my first trade was over here on this candle, and I entered like halfway on it. And then I really didn't want to. Um, so I saw that there's a possibility of us pulling back, and I didn't really see a strong reasoning for us to necessarily not have a pullback here. Now, looking back, yeah, I mean, you could say that because this candle closed above all this mess, which would be the same as this mess, that we shouldn't pull back. But when I see chop like that, sometimes we have a nice pullback down here prior to going higher. And I just didn't want to sit through that. So on my first trade, I entered on the 15 second, as I always do. Whoops. Right. So let me show you guys my orders. So my very first trade resulted in a loss of $55. We just pulled up here, went lower, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna close this and wait till we fully manipulate it. And then as we started to consolidate, and I saw that we aren't really having that pullback at the exact time. Then I was like, any little crack here in this consolidation, I'm gonna use it and just go higher. So right over here, we had this low, and then we had a lower low. And I literally just, okay, after that, what I want to see is, I want to see a candle close above the consolidation and just make a pullback in. So as you can see right here, this candle closed the bodies above the bodies, right there. And that candle that closed bodies above the bodies, on yes, it didn't close above the bodies. And this next candle was a pullback, and I just entered right away. My stop loss was this low right here. And that's just the bottom of the consolidation. It was a pretty tight stop loss, absolutely. But there was a good reason for it. And so then, isn't it like this? I think so. And I was trying to target above the high, and I didn't target just the high because I knew we are going to go through it, to it, and through it. And I knew there was a possibility of a retracement as those gaps over there were really clean. So that's why I left where I left. And I'm actually very happy with my exit, as you can see, because I saw you started chopping up. So I was like, okay, we're going to have a pullback. I don't know how large it's going to be, but I really don't want to sit through it. I had 2 down days in a row. Well, three pretty much. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so I was like, I'm not going to put myself into this risk. So let's see. Where did I leave? Yeah, pretty much right there. So about 3 RR, very solid trade. Um, and I made 825 on it. So 825, and on the day that would be 764. So yeah, after that we had this pullback, which, looking back at it, this was a phenomenal entry. You see, bam, straight into that gap, and I think it was a PSP as well. Was it? Yeah, it was. So that would have been the perfect entry on the day, using power of 3, 10 a.m. But I didn't take that one, obviously, because I already took my 2 trades and got locked out. And I'm totally fine with that. So I'm done for the day. And I'm pretty much back to break even on the accounts. And I will show you guys my current stats. So 50% win rate. Um, and, well, no, not 50%. That's only for today. Okay. So you see a 680, 128, 764. And that's it. So yeah, first strong green day. Wow, I'm very happy to see that my green day was substantially larger. Well, not substantially larger, but my one strong green trade was much larger than all my other losing trades. It was at 850, and no, it says two, but at 850. And yeah, so this 3 trades also, I took one during Asia and I left break even though it would have ended in a 700 win, but it's okay. I was totally fine with that. And yeah, that's that. And then I had a combine, which I passed, so then I'm back to 5 express accounts. And this combine was passed on. So my first trade was yesterday to get halfway right here. So then I got to 1500, and then I took this trade overnight. Bought here, stop loss, and then sold at the high once I got to 1500. So those are my 2 trades for today. The combine, I wouldn't count that into the 2. And yeah, so honestly, this week hasn't been going too bad. In terms of price action, this week has been absolutely awful, but the way I'm handling it and the way I'm sticking to 2 trades during New York, I'm counting this as 2 trades. This is 2. I'm very proud of it, and I believe that if I continue with my psychology and the way I trade, I can result in being profitable and achieve my goals in my next 2 months goals. One thing I have to do note is I will be switching down to 5 micros from here on out. Trading one mini is simply too much. Losing $800, almost $800 in like one day is just absurd, since I only have $2,000 per account of drawdown. So I'm gonna be switching to 5 micros. I can even lock that out. I can't lock that out right now. Actually. Can I? Might as well. So simple. I can just block in the queue completely. So pretty much I'm gonna just do that from now on, because it's like today I had a very large win. It was like 3,000 something per across 4 accounts, but now I'm just gonna be trading 5 starting tomorrow. So I really just want to keep it chill. 5 micros. 5 micros is pretty much 4K drawdown as the way I used to trade. And I think that's a very healthy amount. Because if my worst losing day is $400 or $300, well, realistically, it's gonna be like $350 for the worst possible losing day. Because in all my accounts, $700 is like the most I would lose. So I'm gonna stick to that. And yeah, So thanks for watching, and good luck to all of you guys. Bye bye.